So with the fiasco of the Hello Pool players, I need to say that carefully if you don't know what I'm talking about, see this video up here from my previous videos and YouTube's captions, I have decided to change up what I'm saying in the beginning. Now, for those of you who know me outside of Pool or along with outside of Pool, know that I have a music channel called, and I won't put a link to it. I'm not trying to advertise that channel. Actually, it's mostly defunct now. It's called Hi YouTube, I'm Dad. I started every video with a dad joke. I'm not really going to do that here, although that's part of my humor. But I actually asked Copilot AI the other day, like, hey, how can I make an energetic, whimsical, fun, humorous opening? And it came up with a number of interesting things. So let's try one out and see what you think. Leave me a comment below on what you think, and I'll do a little fade out and fade in, and we'll pretend this video is starting over. Hey friends, Adam here, and we have a lot to talk about today. Hopefully I'll have a tip or two for you. So let's cue it up and see where this thing goes. Now, the cool part about my music channel is I had a little musical intro that I could play. So maybe I can come up with a little Pool intro like everyone does, but I really don't like those intros. So let's just head over to the table and get this thing started. And I'll tell you what's going on, who I'm playing, because there's somebody new, as you probably saw in the thumbnail. And here we go. All right, this is Matt K. He is the co-owner of Lake Geneva Billiards Club. I will not use his last name. I tend to not do that on my channel. I do wear a shirt from time to time with my last name on it, and those of you who know me know what my last name is. But I have decided not to release last names on this channel just for, protection reasons and privacy and things like that. But Matt is a 575 with over 3,000 games in the system, very accomplished player. He's been playing in the AA Masters division at WSPA State, Wisconsin State Pool Association for several years. And he, 3 years ago maybe, opened up Lake Geneva Billiards. He was over at my place a little week and a half ago, and we played 3 sets. This is actually the third set of the 3. We did 10-ball first, or 8-ball first, then 10-ball, and then 9-ball last. And there's some cool things that happened in this set, and that's why I wanted to do this one first. I may or may not do the other 2. We'll see. I also have, those how many ever sets from last year, late last year, December, I think December, February, May, with Matt R., who you just saw in the previous video. Matt K has been shooting a little. He mentioned that he wanted to get back in stroke, so I think he's been taking some time off of Pool, focusing on other things. He does have a full-time job plus running a pool hall, so it's not that he has a whole lot of time here. And I was playing pretty well tonight. This night. This was July 3rd. July 1st, I had my second match in the KO Challenge Series. I'm trying to do something with that. Maybe with some special guest commentators, still working out the details on that and see what happens. But I didn't do well in that match. I lost, and I got kind of demolished in both rotation games, and it was a lot of my fault, but a lot of really good shooting on my opponent's part. So I kind of took out my aggressions on Matt K here, and we'll see. We'll just see how this takes place. So I've nailed down the 1, 2, and 4. I think the 3 went on the break. I got a really lucky leave off this past the 9-ball. I don't know if I wanted to do that or not, but I did get straight in, so I had to kind of choose something to do. I think I'm drawing straight back, or maybe 2 rails off, or just 1 rail out. I would have liked to have enough angle to go this way, and towards the 6, but maybe not that close to it. But I didn't have it, so I'm kind of dead straight on the 6. But as I said, we had already played. I think we played about an hour, maybe an hour and a half of 8-ball to kind of warm up, and then we played race to 7 8-ball, race to 7 10-ball. There may have been a spoiler score on the screen because I had just gone up to get some water when we started this set of what happened in the 10-ball. But I just kind of have to. I'm feeling good about my shooting, and Matt's going to wear out his jeans there if I keep shooting so well. But that shot was just kind of straight draw, a little bit of left to kind of bring it to the rail and cut off the angle when it comes out. And now it's like stop, 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 and I'm good. This is a race to 7, no handicaps. Matt said he didn't even want a handicap, but I kind of joked that it's going to be different playing a mat that I don't give a handicap to. But he said he didn't want it, so there is none, and I would feel the same way if I were him. So I one stroke the 9-ball and am on the board 1-0. We are doing rack your own, winner break, 1-ball on the spot. That will change here in a little bit. I'm playing a tournament with 9-ball on the spot and breaking from a break box next weekend, so I'm going to need to practice that. Maybe doing a video on that as well. So in this break, I don't really have a great shot here. I don't like playing the 1 to hold it and trying to go at the 8 because the 8 is on this side of the pocket. And typically you'd want to kind of drag draw those, and it's very easy to go past 8 and scratch. So what I'm really trying to do is a 2-rail safe here, play the 1 and the 7 and come around this way. And my head's in the way, and it's continued to be in the way, but I was not safe until the last roll of the ball. Now, ideally, I wanted the 1 kind of underneath all this and the cue ball all the way over here. I just kind of underhit it, but I will take this. The benefit of this shot for me is that there's a really good chance that whether Matt hits this or not, he breaks out this 7-6 or 6-7. I do not believe this combo goes even from over here. So it would benefit me greatly if he would break it out for me. So Matt, if you could be so nice as to do that, I would greatly appreciate it. White Gatorade Zero. I think it's the Glacier Cherry. And he came within a 1/4 inch of hitting that ball, but he did break everything out for me, which I appreciate. Sorry, I got a text there and had to make sure I didn't need to answer it right away. So here I'm going to come out, taking kind of a weird angle at this, but I'm going to come out like here. Pretty good line. And ideally I wanted to be on, if I draw the pocket line on here, I wanted to be on this side of the pocket line so that I could just kind of draw back for the 3 as it is. I think I have to go all the way around, and I don't want to hit the 9 and I don't want to hit the 3. So I put top inside on it, which didn't have the desired effect. Now I did clean this table, but I vacuumed it. I used a damp microfiber towel, some water, not wet, just completely damp. And then used the Simonis X1 little weird static electric tool thing that they have. And I polished the balls, and it plays almost like a brand new set of balls here. Actually, maybe a little bit more. It's the I use the Feder Gorse spray and the bulletproof ball cleaner. Now Matt tried to play a safe there, and he would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for the meddling 6-ball and the point. Actually, the 6-ball would have helped him, but if he got right past the point, it would have gone down here, and I would have been hooked on the 6. As it was, he just nailed the point and gave me a easy shot. I just have to figure out a way to get on the 5. I think I'm just going to stop it because I don't think I can really do much. Yeah. Drawing back kind of holds that same angle, so I might as well just stop it and take my medicine on here. I just have to go straight across here, kind of a top ball, maybe a touch of outside, which would have been left at that point. And all I need to do is not get straight on the 6, which I think I got straight on the 6. But even that isn't so bad because I can draw straight back. Bring it about here. The 8's right in the pocket, so I have a decent... Okay, I did have a little bit... cheat the pocket a little bit to stun it. Now, in these shots, I like to look at if I can get on one of the rails, which one is the best to get on for getting from the 8 to the 9. And I think that is this rail up here. Because then I can come like kind of one rail over or kind of draw back. So I go aim for that rail, but I brought it out a little bit too much. I don't know what, I must have not liked the angle directly on the rail. The 8 is a little bit up, but it's not on this point. So ideally I would just kind of draw straight back, but that's a really touchy shot, especially when the balls are nice and polished, because the ball tends to slide forward. So I tried to go one rail off, and I really wanted to be like down here. But as I say in every one of my videos, if you want to get good at these shots and the money ball shots, put the 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball, whatever you're playing in this area where it's racked and shoot these shots from all over the table, and you will get much better at them, and you will almost never miss. Now, I was playing the cue ball 2 rails out, or 3 rails, I guess, and back, in case I missed, kind of get the cue ball out of the way, but I'm not planning on missing. Matt hasn't shot a whole lot in this set, and he too overcuts it. Now, if he would have hit that a little bit harder, 9 ball could have ended up here, and the cue ball could have gone off this rail and ended up here. He would have a really great safe. As it is, this is not an easy shot. It's very easy to scratch. I think I was just talking about the videos and where to leave it and how to play them and the shots you should practice. So it's very easy to scratch both up here, here, and down here. Not all at the same time, but I played that pretty hard. I avoided that scratch, but it's heading right towards this pocket. Unfortunately, the rails aren't as bouncy as like a Diamond 7-foot table with super humidity would be, so I get away with that. I'm up 2-0. So I'm going for a slight pop break. I'm hitting the 1 dead on, and I'm trying to leave the cue ball here, but I also would like to have the 1 go here. Now, ignore the 2 ball because it's not really there on the break. Here, here, and out, so I have a shot. I did look at I saw a video by Sensei Nate Tam on a different type of 9 ball break from one of the ones on the spot. I'm gonna have to mess with that. It's more of a cut break with draw. So I'm gonna mess with that a little bit, but I'm also going to work on the 9 ball on the spot break. Here I'm trying to make something, and I'm amazed that the 7 didn't go in. Because I was trying to get underneath the 9, and if I didn't make anything, at least maybe the 9 would stay there. But I was fully expecting to make the 7 and have the cue ball come out somewhere. I think I hit the 9 pretty full on the bottom side of it, or the top side, or however you want to look at it, off the rail there. Did not leave Matt with an easy shot at all. What Matt tried to do is Matt tried to play a safe, bring the 1 up here and bring the cue ball over here, and just double kissed it, so that's why that happened. I have 2 basic ways I can hit this ball. I can hit here and come 1, 2, 3 and out, or I can do what I'm doing and hit to the lower left and come 1, 2, 3 and out. The problem is there's no shot in the 2. The 2 does not really go in the side. It looks like it may, but it's a really steep angle here, and it's hard to tell. This shadow on the rail from the light kind of makes it look a little easier than it is. These pockets are pretty tight. They're also very pointy, so if you hit the outer point, tends to not go in and just sells the shot out. So what I'm planning on here, I thought about crossing it over here. I didn't want to let the cue ball go, and I didn't think I could get into the 4. So I'm playing this kind of down here and the cue ball underneath the 8, right into the 4. However, I make the cross corner, which is I never wanted to make that. And as I like to say, if you want to guarantee making a ball in 9 ball, play safe. So now I have to try to cut this, which I have to reach over the 8 all the way across the table, hit it, and get my Q-tip out of the way, which is, for me, about a 2% shot. So I'm just going to try to play this here and the cue ball out here, and I overhit both of them. Kind of sell out the game here. 5 to the 6 is kind of goofy. 6 to the 7 to the 8 is okay. So the key shot is here is going to be what angle he gets on the 5 to get to the 6. Now he played inside. That came out pretty well. I might have overpowered this, so let me pause this right here real quick before he shoots. I think I got it right before he shot. By the way, anybody out there uses OBS Studio for the PC, and knows of a better media player plugin. I'm using the built-in, or the one that gets installed when I install VLC Media Player. It's the VLC, I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Hang on, let me look. It is the VLC, hang on, VLC Video Source. I'm using that plugin to control watching the video, but it has a really horrible slider. And it's not like even like YouTube where you can see where you're going, or you can go back and forth 5 seconds at a time. So if anyone knows of a better media player for OBS with a better controls, let me know. Anyway, what I would do here, and Matt's going to be a little bit in the way here, he played this with a lot of inside spin, which is left, maybe a little bit of top, and it basically brought the cue ball out here. Good position to make the 5. What I think I would have tried to do, and this is going to be table dependent, and you're going to have to get the speed of the table down. I would have played it with a low right, which is outside, and I would have played this here, 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 and float down for the 5. And the reason I do that is because I can get a better, like if I'm here, I have a much better control over getting back to the 6 than I do if I'm up here. So we'll play this and we'll see how this kind of comes into play. Like I said, nothing wrong with this shot and this leaf. He had a great leaf here. But now getting on the 6 is going to be tough. Now, granted, you could play 1, 2, 3 and over and play the 6 into the 7. I think what he's going to try to do is 1, 2 and up. He tried to do the first shot that I did, but he undercut it, or overcut it too thin, and the cue ball just took off on him and didn't go in. So it's just kind of a positional thing that I've learned by watching many hours of the pros on like Matchroom and AccuStats and things like that. So here I'm just coming in. Straight in on the 6 would have been bad because I didn't want to be on the rail, but this is like a perfect angle. I can just stop this ball and get almost perfect, or almost straight on the 7. Yeah, bounce it out just a little bit. I am in a little bit, like one ball over here would have been really good because I could just play top right and come right off here. As it is, I think I have to play rail first on this. Come in here, here and out. I think that's what I'm doing, but I'm not playing any side spin on it. Now I should have hit it a little bit harder so it could come off this and come out, but this is still pretty good. This I can stun back and forth and come out here. And I'll be in a really good position for the 9. If I was really feeling well and feeling great stroke on this day, I would play 1 and way down here. Instead, I kind of let off on that stroke a little bit, and instead of holding the line, I let it drift forward a little bit. So I made the shot harder for myself. But I have this working theory, and I don't like my theory, but I think a little bit tougher on the 9 ball is better than straight in. So I'm on a roll here. I'm up 3-0. See if I can keep this going. What do you think? The number one thought, like, and I had this in a video a while ago. I can't remember which video it was. Where I said, would you be straight in on the 9 or just slightly off so you have to cut it a little bit? And my thought there was that I'd rather be slightly off because then it forces you to concentrate and focus on it more. Whereas if you're straight in, like, oh, cool, I'm straight in, and then all sorts of weird things can happen. You can underhit it, you can overhit it, you can decelerate, you can put accidental side spin on and things like that. Whereas if you have to cut it, you have to focus just a little bit more. I'm probably way off base here, and straight in is always going to be better, but let me know what you think. What I think here is I think I'm going to push because I have no shot on the 1. I'm going to put Matt down in this area somewhere, and I'm going to use the 9 to kind of be my it's a lot easier to go off a ball than it is to go right directly into a rail or try to float a ball almost like a leg speed but into a rail and stop. So that's why I use the 9 there, just because I can get better control off the ball. I don't think Matt can see the maybe he can. Either way, I would never give this push back. but it is really hard to make the 1 and get safe on the 2. So I think I would kick this and play the 1 down here. Matt went at it, knowing he could go into the 5 and hold for the 2, but he just undercut it a little bit. But there, I think, I'm going to rewind it a little bit, because why not? Let's see. I think what I would do is I would, even though I can see this ball, it's really hard to play like here, here, and play the cue ball here and here. From this distance across the table, that's a very, very hard shot to try. So I wouldn't even try that. What I might try, depends on how I'm feeling, depends on how I'm kicking. If you go into the back of this ball, no, that's not it, we'll draw backwards. So if you go into the back of this ball at this angle, send the 1 past the 6, past the side pocket, and down, the cue ball can just kind of float over here a lot. And you have these 4 balls, depending on where the 1 ball ends up, as blockers. I think I like that shot a lot. But again, it depends on how I'm feeling. You can also maybe clip the 1 and try to leave behind the 7 here. But if you can see as much of the ball as he could see and you're feeling good, I don't blame him at all for going at it, because he knew he could come 1 rail into the 5 and stop for the 2. That was the big thing. If you didn't have the 5 there or the 7, I think going at the 1 is a mistake, because there's no, this cue ball is just going to come all the way down here and you have no shot in the 2. No future on it. Now that shot's usually hard to hold, but I learned this trick from Charivari years ago. If you play on that kind of thing with max inside, which in that case is left spin, no top, no bottom, just straight max inside, as much inside as you can get with a slow stroke, you can hold it way better than you think you can for this, in this case, the 2 ball. You need to practice that shot a lot. Where are you going, cue ball? Because it's really easy to hit it and decelerate. It's also really easy to miscue because you're putting max spin on it. I suggest you practice that a lot. Now this shot, watch the 4 ball. Did you see it? Watch it real closely. I can't zoom in, unfortunately. I have no way in OBS to do that really easily without goofing everything up. When I have zoomed in, which I will do later on, I do it in post. The 4 ball actually moved, but neither of us saw it, and I was positive I gave a ball in hand, so I just gave it to him. Now, I'm going to be the first one that calls a foul on myself. And the only way I saw that was, I didn't even realize until I edited this video that it moved. And actually, when I say I slow things down, I pull my footage off a camera, off the GoPro, I bring it into DaVinci Resolve. I edit it all together in like speed up racking and stuff like that. And then I leave it for this. And then I do this in OBS. And then I put it back into Resolve for the final edit. It's a lot of screwing around. One day, maybe if anyone's interested, I'll do a video on how I do my videos. But I did not see that until I was editing it. So neither of us saw it in real time. Matt is making quick work of this. I think he drew it back a little bit too far. He looked at the angle he needed for a stop shot, and then he drew it back like a ball or two too much. But again, I polished the balls before we started playing. Actually, I maybe had an hour of play on these, and they are super slippery. It is nearly impossible to do a stop shot when you're used to playing on not clean balls. I'm trying to be careful how I word this. Because you try to do a stop shot and the cue ball flies back 3 inches. Good shot there. You hit it a little thick to the pocket, almost missed, but still good on the 9, or on the 8. A couple different ways you can get to the 9. You can get over here, or you can get over here. He went over there and he missed it. But he didn't really leave me much. Now there kind of is a safe here. Try to leave the cue ball here and the 8 ball here, but for me it seemed like the bank shot was just about as easy or not, since I missed by quite a bit. But that is pool for you, the game we all love. Now this is going to be all matter of preference on where you get on the 9-ball, and I think he does a really good job here of going back and forth. So essentially 2 rails and almost straight into the side pocket. This is a good shot. I think if the 9 was down here, you would have to do a little bit more work on that, but that worked out really well. So Matt's on the board. It's 3-1. Now when I played my match the Tuesday prior to this, so this is on Thursday, July 3rd, 2025, in case anyone's watching this from the future. Although if you are you a time traveler, or how does that work? I gave away a number of games in 9-ball. In fact, first game I ran out, made the 9 and scratched. Second game I ran out to win. Third game, I ran out and bobbled the 9. And fourth game, I broke and ran down to the 4-9 combo, wanted to play safe on it and made it and scratched. So where it should have been 4-0, I was down 3-1, and it just got worse from there. And I started getting those thoughts into my head here, like, oh boy, I feel like I gave away that last game because I missed that 8-ball bank by so much. What is this going to say? Is the same thing going to happen? I feel my 9-ball games have been really shaky lately, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I feel my 10-ball games have been confident, 9-ball games have been shaky, which makes no sense to me at all. Now here, I played a really cool kick and kind of stick, but then hit both balls and open them up. And I think Matt has enough to see the 1 ball here. What do you think, though? 1 first, 8 first, both at the same time. I brought it into my video editing software, and it was either 1 first or the same time. If it's the same time, it goes to the shooter. I think if he hit the 8 first, the 8 would have gone down table this way rather than over this way. So, good hit. I think just the fact that I left that gap in there means I deserve to not get a good hit. Now that I hit really bad, I hit the rail like right here, but because the table's brand new, or not brand new, but freshly clean, and the balls are shiny and freshly cleaned, it slides in a lot easier than a worn down table. So I'll take it. Here I think I'm going 2 rails with upper right. Kind of like that. You do have to watch out for the side pocket on that shot. So if there's any chance, and it has to be by feel. If there's any chance that 2 rail into the side is on, just don't hit it hard enough to go into the side pocket. Pro tip. Here I think I'm straight again. And if you notice, I didn't go around and look at the angle I needed on the 4. I just kind of shot the 2 ball. So I'm doing the same shot, 2 rails and out. This one, actually 3 rails. This one worked really well because I got a better angle off the 6. Now what I need to do here is either come way over by the 9 or under the 9. I have to avoid the 9 at all costs, or follow forward and shoot the 7 on the other side, which I kind of think is maybe a better shot. Although if I hit it like this, I'll take that any day. I got really good on that one, getting underneath the 9. I did have a small, this kind of small angle to come off the rail and out, or if I wanted to come off the second rail. And there I had to do the same thing. I had to avoid the 9. I got a little closer to it, but I'm still at a good angle. Here I can do a number of things. I can come 1 rail and over. I can come all the way over here. I can go forward if I want to, which I don't really recommend. I can do that. Now, hide your kids and your pets and just close your eyes for a minute. I had this shot come up in a couple of my matches up north, and I shot him this way and missed him that way every time. I don't know why I shot it that way, because I feel much better shooting like a stop shot action and just let the cue ball just kind of float. Instead, I figured, oh, well, everyone else rolls this ball. I should be able to roll this ball myself. And I don't know where I get that thinking from. But now in my head, I have definitely given away this game. I feel like I gave away the last game. So now I'm starting to get that doubt creeping in, like, hey, am I no good at 9-ball? Do I have to rely on my opponent missing to win a game? Which is a very valid reality. in pool, especially if you're playing someone. I hate to call Matt R out, but a lot of times I feel, and this is why I like playing Matt R. A lot of times when I play him, I feel like I can go after shots I normally wouldn't go after because I'll probably get back to the table. That's a bad thought process, and it's very common to play people that are 100 points, 150 points below you, thinking, "Oh, I'll get back to the table. Don't worry." Matt's going to play just a terrific safety here, although the cue ball just leaks out. All he had to do was clip any part of this 2-ball, which is what he was aiming at. But I mean, he was this far from the 1-ball, so it's kind of really hard to aim at that. But I'm not, and you guys have seen Matt. In fact, this last video, I think I put a link up to this in the beginning. If I didn't, I'll put it now. Matt, like, beat me pretty handily and got out in spots that I was expecting to get back to the table. Now there I joked to Matt that I needed to be like 1 ball this way so that I could play the 1, 2, 3, 4 rail shot. Or maybe that's only 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, yeah, 3 and then drop down. But because I didn't have it, I still went after it and I got no shot on the 2. I probably should have done something else, maybe played it wider. But here I'm just going to play safe and I'll put the 2 ball somewhere in here, the cue ball somewhere in here. Close enough. I mean, realistically, I have this area and this area, and these 3 balls form a nice wall there. Hopefully those drawings make sense, but I could have gotten almost anywhere in there. There's really not a gap. Maybe here would have left a slight gap on the 2, but it's really hard to sell out a shot there. He almost made it. 2 rail, kicked it all the way up table, and almost went off the 6. Cue ball could have almost got safe behind all this stuff. As it is, I have to try to make this and come up like here. Using a little bit of upper right. Oh, you know what? But instead I decided to play safe and sell out the shot. I thought I could maybe hit this behind the 6, but I couldn't. Or maybe I could, but I didn't. Either way, I kind of sold this, sold a big chunk of this rack out. Now, against a lot of opponents, I would look at this and say, getting from the 2 to the 3 to the 4 back to the 5 is tough. And in fact, especially now, I would say 70% of the players that I play would go for this 3 and try to get on the 4. But Matt is not in that 70% because he knows he can't get on the 5. So he's just going to bring this up. He didn't really mean to hit the 5 there, but it actually made it worse, or better for him, worse for me. Now, if your first thought is grab the jump cue, you need to work on your kicking. I'm just going to say that. Now, on that, I'm not even saying that because I'm not a great jumper, but I see a lot of people would jump this and you're never going to... The worst that can happen... Hang on. Pause. The best that can happen is you make it and you get a leave on the 4 with no way to get on the 5. I don't think the 5 goes here. The worst that can happen is you miss your jump, you tag the 5, and you give ball in hand and open up the only problem on the table. I would much rather go at a kick and miss the kick here than I would opening up the 5 for obvious reasons, which is what I do. I didn't miss it by much. I don't think I zoom in on this one in the video. So, but I forced Matt to have to break out this 5. Now, if the 5 does go here, a lot of what I said doesn't make much sense, except for the fact that you don't want to break it out. Matt's looking at what angle he needs on the 4 to play the 5. Now, the other thing you could do is kind of play the 4 here and drag the cue ball over behind the 6. That is a tough shot, but he has a better angle on it here than I did when I tried it a couple shots ago. Looks like he's going to just bust right into this 5. Or right around it. Now here he's looking at what angle of what he's doing is he's lining up where the cue ball is going to go off the 5. And it looks like it's going to go really close to the corner pocket, so he's going to draw this, hopefully catch a part of the 8 so that it doesn't scratch. And then he's kind of aiming the 5 in the side. He got real close to scratching. That was dangerous. He left me kind of straight. There's 2 ways to play this shot. One of them is not slow rolling. One of them is jacking up and spiking it and drawing it back a little bit. The other one is playing forward with top and maybe a touch of left and coming out this way. The third way is playing safe, which is what I'm going to do here. But I actually almost make this. And I was excited to look at this and say, oh, you know what? I snookered him. But then as I walk back to my chair, I'm like, oh, wait, he can just, it's a really easy 1 rail and out with natural position to get on the 6. What I was trying to do is I wasn't expecting to make that bank. I was just expecting to have it come like short or long or not make it and cue ball come down here and at least leave distance, if not, you know, 5 ball here, cue ball here. As is Matt tried to spike the bank. Mike spiked the bank in. Matt tried to spike the bank in. That's hard to say. Say that 6 times fast. Leave me a comment how well it goes. Here I don't really see a great safe because I'm on, the 6 has no cover. So I'm just going to go at this with low left. Oh, you know what? I did try playing safe. And I almost got there, I think. I was trying to really, I'm telling him there's a shot I saw Jasmine Ocean and Alvin Ocean work on where they play the ball into the rail and it goes like this and kind of back out. And then the cue ball comes around 2 rails here. Now, again, I snookered him, but if you look at, hang on, let me pause this. Rewind it just a second. Okay. Let me get myself out of there. Get out of the way. Okay. If you look at this, he can't, I don't know if he can hit the 6 or not. The way I drew that line, it does not look like he can hit the 6. If he can, he's only going to hit a bit of it. The cue ball is going to come out here and the 6 is going to kind of stay there. That's no good. However, if you look at where he needs to hit the 6 to make it, let's draw a straight line across from the cue ball. If he hits it about here on the rail, it's going to come off, make it, and then possibly the cue ball come around for the 8 ball. Well, when you have that angle, when you need to hit, like if, okay, just real quick triangle math here. Imagine, okay, Sam, imagine that's a straight line. I make fun of Sam every video because he makes fun of me for my straight lines. There's a giant logo up here or a diamond. All you have to do with straight top ball, aim into that diamond and it's going to come out and hit that. Now imagine those are all straight lines and I actually aim towards the center of the diamond instead of off to the side here. And this is a person with wearing a funny dress. But anyway, all he has to do is hit that angle here and it's going to make the 6 ball. So I didn't really leave him safe. If I was playing a 200 Fargo, it's probably safe. If I'm playing someone who knows what they're doing, it's probably not safe. Oh, he actually goes right into this. So he played a little bit of stun follow, not direct follow on that shot, and just made it center pocket. I like going into those 1 rail. When they're that far off the railing a little bit, I like playing the going into the rail first. Now this shot was great. He played all inside spin, which is just left. I don't think he played any top or bottom, and he got the cue ball to just die off the rail and come back out. Otherwise, if he plays like a natural floating ball, that ball is all the way up here. And then he listened to my videos where I say, put the ball here and hit from all over the table. And now we're tied at 3, and I feel like I've given away another game. And Granted, we're in a race to 7. There's plenty of time to play. There's plenty of things going on. But I need to figure out some stuff here. I need to figure out what's going on, why I'm not shooting well, why I'm giving away games, why I'm not playing safe when I should be, why I'm not. There's a lot of doubt in my head. What's weird, though, is that he missed the ball on the break. Normally with the template rack, especially from this side, this corner ball goes in 95% of the time. I think he took a little bit off the break because he's trying to control the cue ball. And because of that, I think the corner ball didn't go in. Maybe it was not completely tight. Maybe there's a small gap in the rack, whatever. But I look at this, and I promise every video I say I'm not going to pause it that much. I end up pausing it because I think there's some good points here. Now, I have the option to push. And a lot of people will default to pushing when they can't see the ball. I could hit the ball on this side, but the scratch is like the corner pocket's like this big. Probably doesn't go all the way over to the table over here, but it is pretty big. And I think if I scoop down on the ball to draw it, it pushes this into the 3 ball. So I don't like that safe at all. However, what I'm looking at is if I kick this 1 rail, there's a really good chance the cue ball slides off behind these 4 balls. And the 1 ball can come up here. It could go maybe into this ball and kind of stop and the cue ball over here, or it could just go straight in the pocket. So I'm almost never taking the push. I'm almost always kicking. Now I am bridging over the 5 a little bit, which makes it a little tougher. If I was dead over the 5, I'd probably push. But I think this result's pretty good. If I hit it any more over towards our left of the ball, the cue ball is going this way. If I hit it any more towards the right, I may be in trouble, but the 1 may hit off the 3 and go down here, and the cue ball goes over here, and he still doesn't have a shot. As it is, I made it, and I'm on the 2. I have a tough shot in the 2, and I'm going to play 2 rails over here to be able to use a lot, let my stroke out. Got really good on the 3. And now I just have to decide how I'm going to play the 4. There are a number of ways I can stun up this way. I can float forward and play it down here. If I can get all the way over here, playing in the side is really nice because then I can just follow over for the 5. So I'm kind of just weighing my options up here, and we'll see what the best one is. Looks like I'm drawing 1 rail and out. Or no, I did the stun. So the first thing I said was just kind of stun straight back. I like that shot a lot. I'm really comfortable with it. And I'm pointing to the table where I told Matt, I'm like, I looked at that point on the table and said, I want to get there, and actually got there, it's a huge confidence booster when you can do that. I was talking to someone recently who said, oh, you know what? It was Anthony from On the Snap. And if I don't have his channel down below, I will put his channel in the description. He said when he worked with Max Eberly that recently, within the last month or so, that Max said you should start, instead of going, I need to get over here, or instead of I need to get somewhere in here for a shot on the 4, pick a spot. Pick a 1 cue ball spot. Now, you're not going to get there. You're probably, as a player of our level, you're not going to get there 9 out of 10 times. You're probably not going to get there, but you're slowly going to get better and better and better and better to the point where you can get there. And when you start thinking in more exact and more precise like that, you can get yourself out of some really tough situations, and you can get really pinpoint accuracy position. Like here, I wanted to be about here, and I missed it by 2 feet. And there, I knew I was going to the 7, so I just played it off the 7 and hope I got lucky, and I did. I was thinking maybe the cue ball would stop here, the 7 would go that way. As it is, they both came out. Now here I'm going to play 2 rails tight in and play the 8 in the side. And by doing that, and you know what, I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. A lot of players are just going to slow roll this ball, and they're going to play the natural, just a top or a center ball, and they're going to, 7 goes here, and they're just going to play the cue ball out this way. And then when they're, let's say they get here, then they need to watch out for the scratch. They maybe either play follow, which is kind of dangerous, or stun, and they make the 8, hopefully, and the cue ball comes down here, and you're just a little bit more off each shot on position. What I decided to do is play tight into the corner and 2 rails out. Now I have to watch the scratch here. It's very, very possible. But if I can get near this pocket line, it's a stop shot with a cue ball like here for the 9. And we'll see, we already saw that I did that. But it's little things like that with getting more precise position, more better, more gooder, better decisions and better accuracy on the easier shots so that the harder shots are easier. So here all I have to do is a stop shot. It's going to float a little bit towards a 9, and I'm basically straight on the 9. Now we won't talk about what I talked about before about would you rather be straight on the 9 or a little bit of angle or whatever. I think when you're, maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But for now, I just did what we call a take and run, and I got that from Drew on Port. His channel is in the description as well, where your opponent breaks dry and you run out from there. We call that a take and run, or they do, and I just stole that because that's what I'm gonna call it from now on. Now here, I got the 1 ball to do what I wanted it to, but I also drew the cue ball back a little bit. If the cue ball was here, it would be a much tougher situation, but as it is, if the 4 goes, the big question is if the 4 goes right here, if I'm like here. If it does, everything's spread out really nicely in this rack. This is kind of the shot. How do I get from the 1 to the 3? Do I have enough to be able to do like upper right and just kind of go this way? Nope, I went 2 rails inside. I really like that shot. A little bit dangerous going to the 8, but I'm still okay. And I'm gonna do the same shot now with upper right. Last one was upper left. It's upper inside, whatever inside spin is, and that is actually running English for that shot. Most of the times running English is outside. If you're like cue balls here and you're playing the 6 here, running English is upper left in this case. But in these inside shots like this, running English is where the cue ball is naturally going. So I want to get out center table. That's not bad. And I'm assuming the 4 goes because I would have never left myself this. Otherwise, I just have to not hit the 9 here. So if I can come out 1 rail and out a little bit like this, that'd be perfect. I don't think I can draw around the 9. Yeah, I kind of did what I drew, but I wasn't able to get. I had to put some left spin on that to kind of spin maybe around the 9 a little bit to get a better angle. But if I make the 5 here, I should have a natural angle on the 6. Here, I don't think I'm playing any English. I'm playing just a center ball with a little bit of top. Played it firm to come back and forth because I didn't want to play that to hold, because coming off the rail and kind of holding it for here is a really, really touchy shot. Here I can do straight top, I can do a little bit of left, I can do a little bit of right depending on, I put a little bit of right on there to kind of cut the angle off. Now the natural angle for the cue ball is to go in this side. So you need top, or you need left or right to kind of cut that angle off. Left has a tendency to overhit and come out this way. Right has a tendency to cut the angle off, but because it was such a slidey table, and if it's brand new felt, I don't think I would try that because almost all the slide comes off and then you're kind of in no man's land. Here I wanted to play for the short side, but I'm a little bit above it. So if I play just a stop shot, it's going to float down here. So I'm going to play just a little bit of top into the rail and out. Matt is on the verge of wearing out a hole in his jeans by clapping for me every shot. I say that tongue-in-cheek, kind of, you know. I just need to focus, hit this in, which is the way I should have hit that one in, and that was a break and run. So we have a take and run followed by a break and run, and I've gone from losing a 3-game lead, or to tie it up, to now 5-3 and breaking. I followed that a little bit too much because I was trying to get the one ball out where it is, and I did that. And usually you have to put more pace on the brake, more speed, power. When I do that, I tend to overhit it by, instead of aiming full into the one ball, I aim a little bit off and the cue ball comes out this way. The danger in that is you can scratch in the side a lot. So I don't do that on purpose. I just did it. Here the key is if the 6 goes past the 8. If it does, I like my chances here. Because, yeah, I get on the 2, and I didn't really put much thought into that. I just fired that shot in. All I need to do is come back. The 4 to the 5 to the 6 is natural. And, in fact, if the 6 goes, the 6 to the 7 to the 8 is natural. What I mean by that is, I don't want to use the term roadmap, but it really is. All the shots lead to each other. So here I'm just playing out or just punch it or however I feel is the best way to play it for the moment in time that my brain is in. File a little 4 because I want a little bit more angle. Well, I don't think that line is correct. Yeah, I wanted to be on the bottom of the pocket line so that I can just float up a little with either stun or follow one rail and out. It depends on where I am in this shot. I think I'm following one rail and out. Put a little bit of inside in there, but the inside is almost just to hold the angle and not force it. And then this is really the key question. And from this angle, there's no way the 6 doesn't go past the 8. I would have never left myself here. I would have never not tried to break it out before then. So I'm going just one rail and out. A little too far on that. If I was playing on a diamond table with bouncy cushions, I might be in trouble because it might be out here. Now here, because I'm stretched, I don't want to do the inside trick. I'm just going to slow roll this. The one time I slow roll a ball, really. And then I got a little bit goofy on this where I'm too close to straight in. So I'm going to spin this around with upper right. I think I'm coming all the way down here. The other thing I'm going to do is kind of just straight top and go here. Nope, I'm coming all the way around. The only problem with this shot is you get caught on this rail a lot. And if you try to go into the rail and out, a lot of times you overhit it and you wind up down here. If you underhit it, a lot of times you wind up here. But as it is, I got straight in. And that is 2 break and runs back to back. But it was also followed by a take and run. So it's really, if we're going to count them, and we're being serious, 3 table runs. Get out of there. So everything kind of, I was just about to be hooked behind the 4. But everything kind of opened up and I have this 1-2 combo. I think the one went off this point a little bit, which is what it kind of made it pop out. But I had the brake really dialed in now. Now, I'm playing this combo. There's no way I'm going to not go for this. It looks like the 1 has to hit the 2 on this side and the 1's going to go this way. So I need to make sure that I play the cue ball here so the 1 ball goes there and I get a shot. I do not want to slow roll this. I want to stun this just straight over and hopefully hit it hard enough that the 1 goes over to give me a shot somewhere. If I hit this too far to this side of the pocket, the 1 is just going to stay on the 2 and I'm not going to have a shot. So I need to cut this a little bit. The 2 almost goes this way and then the 1 goes that way. And that's pretty good. I actually could have done a little bit harder. It looks like I drew that more than I stunned it. So if I would have stunned it more and put more power into it, I would have a much better shot. And the cue ball may be out here. As it is, I'll take this. Now the question is, I don't think I can hold this for the 3 in the side. Like play it over here and leave the cue ball. The Charivari spin shot might work, but that's a lot of spin to ask for. So instead, I tried to go all up and down, and I hit the 4, and I don't think I would have made it anyway. I think I hit it too light. I don't know if I was trying to go into the 4, but as it is, I have this weird reverse back cut combo, but I have nothing else to really shoot at. So I'm just going to shoot the 3. The 6 is on a kind of where we call the big ball angle, where I can hit off the rail or just dead in like that and make it. And I'm getting closer, and I'm thinking in my mind here, and I'm like, I'm running out the set on the hill. I need to finish this no matter what I do. So here I'm just coming out to the rail for the 4. Or wanted to. Hit it a little bit weird and just came out, and I don't even bother looking at it. I just grabbed the short cue right away, and I'm sure I made a comment on it, which is what we're laughing at. A couple different ways to play this. I could kind of follow forward and leave it here, but that's touchy, and the angle can get really, because I'm so close to the 5, the angle get really off. I could draw, if I had my own cue and not a wall here, I would draw this all the way back and over. But because I don't have either, I want to draw this back to like here. And instead I stop shot it. I'm going to blame the cue and the jacked up and the wall and global warming and stuff like that. But I have a shot that all I need to do is make and shoot the way I would normally shoot this, which is low right, and plan on just coming off the rail and out a little bit. And I got that pretty good. On the 9, if I was like right here, the 9 looks cuttable, and it is, but it's a pretty sharp angle. So I want to follow this down here. And I actually got more follow on it than I needed to. Out here would have been fine. I put a little bit more just straight top on it. And now I can't reach it. So here I am, the last ball for the set. Have to get my other extension, have to just take a breath, settle myself down, and just make this ball. Put a little bit of right spin on it to cut off the scratch angle. And there it is. 3 flashes, break and run times 3. And if you really look at it, it's a 4-pack. So there it is. There is my first match against someone new other than Matt R on my channel. At my home, I played Drew. In fact, I'll put a card here to where Drew and I played last fall in Arizona. This is the first time I had someone over. I'd like to have a number of other people over, and I had other people that have agreed. We just have to figure out schedules. You know, grown-ups and being adults and schedules and planning and stuff is hard. So that's it. But let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, I didn't update the scoreboard, but I'm already off the scoreboard screen by now, so it doesn't really matter. But I did win that 7-3. It was 3-3. Matt broke dry and did not get back to the table. Matt, I'm not really sorry. I'm sorry you had to sit there because it didn't look very comfortable for a while. But I'm pretty happy with how I shot and appreciate all the support. Definitely going to have Matt out in the future. I don't know if we'll go on camera as much if we're not going to. We were talking about working on some drills and working on some things to both, get each other's games back, up for him back into stroke, and for me just keep improving. But anyway, let me know if you want to see the 8 and 10 ball sets, or one or the other, or if you don't want to see them. I can't say I ran 4 tables in a row in either of them. I will say the 10 ball is more competitive than the 8 ball, but they were both good sets shot by myself. Matt's still getting his stroke. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, share. What else? Report the video for bad puns in the beginning. But if you have a problem with what I said, let's talk about it.